Pandas, pandas. Got broads and I just don't need pandas. Oh, welcome to the stream. I'm Baba Money. I'm glad that you guys are here. Thanks for joining. Do appreciate it. Hey, make sure you guys scalp that like button. We just finished the pre-market show. Always have a great time there. The pre-market show for me, it's a small paywall. It is a small paywall, and I hope you guys can see that the paywall is not there for me to get money. For me, like the $5 a month is, I just consider it as, you guys buying me a cup of coffee once a month, for the work I put in the stream. To me, the $5 a month is not anything there for me to try to gain money from you guys. It really is not. The $5 a month, the small paywall that I put, is to try to separate, those who really support me and they're willing to just kind of put a little bit money to show that, versus people who I simply just don't know. And the reason why that's important is because in the pre-market show, I show everything. I show all my trades. I show all my, kind of like my frustration sometimes with trading. I show also, just all my account balances. And, showing stuff like that is actually very vulnerable. And to share that, to be vulnerable with people who don't care is very, because at the end, I'm just a panda. And pandas have feelings, and so it's to me, the psyche, the mental aspect of that was too much, especially when there's a lot of trolls out there. And so to me, it was just so much better to just put this small teeny paywall to separate, at least filter out the trolls. I know it ends up separating also people who do support this channel, support me, and who genuinely do love this channel. I understand that it does separate them as well, but this is kind of the way that I can know, like, who can I share my deepest, darkest secrets with. You know what I'm saying. Damian Hughes, welcome. Kevin Mack, welcome. Apex website. Here's a question. Yeah, Apex, you can trade micros and minis. I believe with Apex you could only trade E-mini, the Nasdaq, and the DAX. I'm not sure. Actually, I only trade one product, so I didn't ever really look into those things, but yeah, maybe. Time Malema, good morning. Make sure you guys drop a GM in the chat. Kellyanne, Wayne Bignell, good morning, guys. Bernadette, good morning. Tyler Malema, good morning. Julian, good morning. Damien, he was trying to separate us. You should be a politician. Yeah, politics, man. It's kind of funny. Anytime I mention politics on the stream, it's not a political stream, and I rarely do talk about politics, but I sometimes will talk about kind of not political issues, but things that have been politicized. I think issues that should never be political, but end up talking about them, such as like something like the COVID. If I mention COVID, it's like, why is that? How did that become political? It ended up becoming political. But, every time I do mention like a topic like that, you can see that the the YouTube algorithm actually does, I feel like, does something different. It does something different on the stream. It either doesn't push it out as much. I have been docked before on this stream, as in they have tried to demonetize some of my my videos or my streams. And I think most of you guys know, like, I'm never political. I really am not. And I try not to. I try to make it trade. I do talk about my faith sometimes when it's relevant, but I I rarely do talk about politics, and every once in a while I will mention something that's going around in like the political sphere, and I have been demonetized, and I had to put like, you know, a request in saying why has this been demonetized, and you know they will soon bring it back and monetize the monetize the video, and it's definitely like some sort of, you know, algorithm or AI out there that they have to detect, you know, whatever they want to demonetize. But it's kind of a it's kind of funny. I think it's funny. Anyways, I mean, a channel like this, you know, being demonetized because, you know, I just think it's funny. Anyways, so we just have this downtrend right now. How am I gonna chart this? You know, for me, in the early on, I did only chart. I basically only would chart at the tips, or basically the end of. Like, I will only use the actual highs of the wick. I've developed now, especially with this the 2000 tick chart, to say if there is a wick that I think anywhere in the wick is free game in terms of trying to chart. And so it kind of gives you some flexibility on how to make these channels. I used to be pretty strong on just using the extremes, but I've come to say now, you know, kind of you can use anywhere inside the wick. The wick is free game. And I think it's good. It gives you flexibility because you can see, like, later it's like, okay, you know, is this a breaker trend to new low? And you can also consider it, maybe it's within side this channel still. So it kind of makes, I mean, the only problem is that because of that, the flexibility, the one good thing is you can fit more into your channels, but the bad thing is it's hard to know when you actually have a channel break. So yeah, you know, the pros and cons of it. But I think the flexibility is good because it will give you maybe the possibility that this is a break to new low, so you can be wary here when if there's a two-leggy here, because this could potentially trap. But you can also have this and just keep in the back of your mind, like, well, we could still also be in channel and start on a downtrend. So if you know, if that's the case, if it's kind of confusing for me, I usually sit on my pause. But yeah, your accuracy with scalping needs to be about 90% for it to really be worth it, in my opinion. Break evens probably around 70, you know, 70 to 80. But I think if you really want to make it, your accuracy has to be like around 90%. And so, you know, when it's a little confusing, you gotta exercise patience. If it's slightly confusing at all, because of how accurate you have to be. Market just opened, by the way, pandas. Let's go, baby. Let's get that bamboo. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Let me say good morning tomorrow for you guys. Chris, Vendetta, good morning. Johnny, Todd, DA, Isaiah, good morning. David B, good morning. Samanth, Hugh, good morning. Ralph Gruns from Atlanta, good morning. Patrick, John, No Trigger, Richard, BNZNB, good morning, guys. GC Burke, cannot read. Cody M, good morning. Welcome. BNZNB, Speedy Boy, good morning, guys. By the way, for those who won the raffle, you should get an email sometime today. There was a special yesterday, and we have 4 winners, and you should get an email today. Sometime today. So we're just in this downtrend, and first entry is all the way down. No entries for us yet. This is how I'm seeing it, and when the market starts to look like this, when it starts to become little teeny bars like this, to me, it's just makes it a little more confusing. It looks almost choppy to me, but also the direction is pretty clear right now. We're going down, and until we break this line here, I'm not gonna think otherwise. Like, I'm not gonna try to go long. I'm thinking we're gonna we're pointing down. We're going down until at least we break the 20 EMA or this trend line. Preferably both. You know, if I were ever to switch my stance here. So we're going back to 20 EMA, touching it. Those who have like a limit order on the 20 EMA just scalped out. You know, those little movements up and down. It shows like all the scalpers. They're different scalpers than us, but they're definitely scalping with limit orders. Going above, breaking above our trend line now. And it's hard to cheese this trend line anymore. You know, I feel like this is the limit. And yeah, that's where we're at. Good morning, guys. Welcome. Terrell, good morning. Jaden, good morning. Anthony, good morning. Borislav. Hey Panda, why did you stop entering with a double trade? I guess more than one contract. There might be a time I might trade more than one contract. Stefan, F Zhang, good morning. Icky, good morning. Steven Milan. And you see, like when it starts to look like this, it's just annoying. You know, it's just annoying. These little teeny bars overlapping. Like, what is happening here? Starting to already look annoying to me.
10,000 tick trap.
I think for me, I'm going to put annoyance as a technical term, a technical factor. When the chart looks annoying, it's going to be a actual technical term. When I you know, mark my charts, I'm going to just write annoying, annoying, annoying. And when I have that feeling of annoyance, I'm just going to sit on my pause. Decent signal bar, but annoying, choppy, overlapping, dojis. Downtrend, right? Strong downtrend, terrible setup at the moment. Ends up being a good scalp, but the two leggy is so ugly, right? All like in all of this, there's basically, it was just these bull bars, just ugly. To me, it looks like it's already trying to turn to some sort of trading range. Look at this, like even something like this. Just grinding, and then grinding back up. Very annoying. You know, the thing about two-legged pullback, the best like circumstances for the two-legged pullback is strong trend. You see a strong trend, and then you see a two-legged pullback, and then you want a continuation off a key area. And this is the best environment, or I guess a scenario for or circumstances for the two-leggy. And this, you know, this is not how you want it to look like. starting to show trading range type behavior here. Could be a double bottom, and we could maybe have a big push up here. Who knows when it starts to look like this. It could be a break of trend, double bottom. It might look for a new low still, and this might be enough for that new low. We do have a second entry long at this point. I'm not looking to go long here. Inside bar, right, doji bar. Continuing the annoyance of the market. Choppy. I guess the reason why I'm starting to use the word annoying is because yesterday was an annoying day. And I explained in the pre-market show just how annoying it was. Just so many, it would just be, like a 3-hour long trading range. And inside the trading range, just no clean setups, just looks terrible. Annoying. And this is kind of annoying. It's getting annoying right now. We're clearly underneath the 20 MA. We keep pushing down. And if we make a new low here, okay, made a new low. So to me, this is a breaker trend to new low at this point. The trend is so strong though, right? This trend is so strong. For me, I would have to have pretty strong evidence now that we're reversing, because any break above here could just convert into a big trading range. And so if I see a fail second entry short, I'll be tempted. Not gonna lie, I'll be tempted to go long, but yeah. This is what I thought was gonna happen. I thought we'd have a two-leggy back to the 20 MA. Instead, we have just one leg down and one leg up, one leg down. That's it. It's nasty. Whew. Okay. Inside outside bar on a daily chart. Creating breakout mode here. I'm looking at the daily chart real quick. So I didn't get a good chance to look at it. 10K chart. 5 pushes down on 10K chart. Yeah, 5 pushes down. That means there has never been a time we broke a previous pivot high. This is a downtrend. 5-minute chart, first huge gap between the close from the regular trading hours to the open. Do I think it's going to close? I have no idea. From the looks of it will really depend. But it looks like this is pushing down hard because now we have a doji with follow through here on the 5-minute chart. I want to see the next couple candles, but we're not even going towards the direction to fill this gap right now, and it's a pretty large gap. We do have a trap trade to the short side here. Hard to take, far away from 20 MA. We do have a break a trend to new low, so some traders may think that this might be a place to look for a reversal. For me, I do think this is a pretty strong downtrend, and I kind of want a continuous downtrend, but it's confusing to me now because we do have a breaker trend to new low, and I think it's something you need to keep in the back of your mind that this two-leggy here that may be forming at the moment may not be a good trade. And it's something in my mind that I'll keep in the back of my mind. Let's just say this has happened to me before, and I have been burned. Two-leggy is gone. First entry is good enough to make a new pivot low. So we have a trap far away from 20 MA working out for a scalp. Shows the strength of this bear trend. You know, a place where we should typically find some sort of reversal, maybe. Follow through on the 5-minute chart, right? We have a doji bar with follow through, and this strong bear bar, traders sold the close. They saw this and they said this is confirmation for us that this is, you know, going to continue to go down, and they sold it. And this is what we're seeing on the 5-minute chart. Scalpers definitely scalped out already on the 5-minute. Someone says there's a 20-second delay. Can someone confirm that? It should be actually a really small delay. I don't think I have any latency here. Yeah, it should not be a 20-second. It should be like maybe like a 3-second delay. If your delay is 20 seconds, I would say watch in 2x speed until you catch up. You guys are getting a 20-second delay? Huh. Oof. Okay. Watching 2x speed. I know you have live. Your live button might be red, but sometimes there's like a pretty big buffer in the live when it says live to, you know, when it actually thinks it's live. Yeah, watching 2x speed. If you know the watching 2x speed should catch it up to as quick as possible. Yeah, it should be about 3-second delay. That's at least what I'm showing. One, two, three, four, five, six overlapping bars. Nasty, nasty. Just trickling down. Too leggy. Push down here. I think one thing to note here is you see this push down, and kind of maybe a way to know that we probably will have more to go down is when we came back up. Look at where we stopped. We stopped here right at the bottom of this bar, and so this shows that people came with limit orders, waiting for limit orders right there at that break. For people who missed this, they were able to come in or recollect, like, you know, take their profits, you know, 2 or 3 points, and when you see they come back up, they want to enter again. And you can see this is exactly where they want to enter. And so now when we are trying to figure out, is this going to be a downtrend? Like, you could have that in the back of your mind saying, if we only went up to fill that gap, you know, this is what we call the gap, at least in the Al Brooks camp. The gap is filled.
10,000 tick trap. $10,000 tick trap.
Put a poll up. If we get a two-legged here, would you take it? A, B, C. Two-legged pullback. Hidden second entry now. Right, that's like a hidden pullback. Blah, 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 blah. Now it's not hidden anymore. It's a technical. Two-legged pullback at the 20 EMA. Strong downtrend. Coming after a breaker trend to new low with an H4 or H4 setup. Are you going to take this short trade here, pandas, with a good signal bar? You want to go short. A lot of you guys want to go short here. Setup is still decent if you do have a good signal bar. You can see now the 20 EMA is starting to curl up here, showing the strength that the strength of this bull move here is strong enough to curl this up. Starting to go a little sideways now. Signal bar is small, not much risk. If you wanted to go short here, you could still go short here, but it's kind of like a doji bar. Signal bar is not the best, but it's small, so it might be worth it if you want to take the risk here. If you want to continue this downtrend, would you want to take this short here? People want to take the trap. Some people want to take the trap. Some people take the short. Here I probably it is confusing to me. Like we have the breaker trend new low. Definitely not interested anymore. Definitely not interested anymore. Here I might convert to thinking we should take a trap trade, and we might come back up strong. This is technically a place where you could take a trap. H4 setup after a breaker trend to new low. Breaker trend to new low with an H4 setup. A decent place for a trap, but notice the downtrend is pretty strong. It's a pretty strong downtrend. The immediate trend right now is very strong as well, going up multiple bull bars in a row. Every pullback has been very small, 1 bar, no follow through. Trap trade here. This trap is interesting. I kind of want to take it, but the downtrend is so strong. Hard for me to want to go long here. We do have the setup, the breaker trend to new low, the H4. Good setup. I mean, this is a nice looking setup in my opinion. But the downtrend does look pretty strong here. I don't like that. I definitely don't like the fact that we couldn't scalp out in 1 bar. In fact, the lower high does trigger here. That's tricky because this spot is not that bad for a reversal. And the way it looks like it can reverse here. I would say if you just take the reversal, you may have to swing it for a nice swing trade. Boy, oh boy, that's tricky. You know, you're sweating right now if you're in this trade. It could be a two-legged pullback at the end. A, B, C, second entry long. So here it's like, you know, the second entry short fails, and it looks like maybe the failure, that trap fails. So you got like a double trap going on here. Very confusing. I mean, I already skipped it, and I'm glad I skipped both sides of the trade because you are sweating right now. You're really sweating. You're getting micro triple bottom. All right, you just got stopped out. We have a two-legged pullback here. I would take a fail second entry long here at this point to continue this downtrend. I would need A, B, C, A, and then I'm looking for this setup here at the moment. See if I can get it. Let's see if the market will give it to us. Looking for a fail second entry long here, thinking the downtrend will continue. Because this reversal failed, I'm looking to try to enter the other side, like the other way. Right, this reversal spot, I mean, a lot of people probably got trapped there. And you can tell by the way this moved down. You know, people said, uh-oh, when they saw these two strong kind of bear bars, they're like, uh-oh, what we do? Man, now it's going to a point where I feel there's some support here. Do I want the fail second entry long? It looks a little choppy now. It's starting to overlap. I wish it happened around this area, and I would pretty much have taken that 9 out of 10 times. But I don't feel the setup anymore. I feel like it's a little too far away from 20 May. It's just multiple bear bars in a row though, and no setup for us, no entry for us in this downtrend. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna go short here. So this is what I mean by the market's been annoying. You know, like the moves that actually happen, it's hard to enter. It's hard to enter. Can't get in. Probably one of my biggest gripes of this setup, where you kind of know what's going to happen. Like, this is probably going to go down, or it's probably going to go up. But, you know, because you're waiting so long for a setup, it's just, you know, you never are able to enter. It's one of the, I would say, the downfalls of the two-leggy. And I say that in all honesty, as you guys can see, I'm not here to You know, I'm not here to sell a strategy to you guys. It's really not the case. You know, Mac from Price Action Trading System, yes, he's trying to sell you a strategy. I am working out this strategy. I have made a tool to help me with the strategy, but I personally am not like, I'm not in a sense married to the strategy. For me, I'm working the strategy out. Ooh, we got the trap. Man, this is happening so fast. The traps are triggering so fast. It's a little far away from 20 MA now, and it feels like there could be some support here, or this could start to turn to a trading range. And if that's the case, this is the bottom of the trading range. Or the market has decided, you know, we're just gonna go on a forever downtrend day today. And yeah, regardless, it's hard to enter a setup like this still. I wish it happened up here. You know, that's what I wanted. I was like, this would be nice if the setup happened around this area, right, you know, right next to the 20 MA. But it happens way down here when we already had the strong move down, and difficult. Yeah. I'm pretty honest in how I feel about the two-legged pullback. It's very hard to not be honest when you stream, because if you don't stream, or if you're not showing your trades live, you can always make stuff up, or you can always kind of like, you'd be surprised at the illusion that is created if you don't stream, in terms of like setups and how easy it is to trade. Like, it's an illusion, because when you're actually trading live, like on stream, you know, there is no illusions here. You know, what I mean by illusion is, you know, a day could be very difficult, and if you just kind of show, you know, without trading actually live, and just show like the three setups in the day that were good, it's like when you're actually trading that, you're trying to find those three setups. It's you know, the illusion is like, oh, it's easy, you know, because here, three setups that worked, and you know, here's a setup in the matches. You know, the illusion that's created when you don't stream live and trade live is, you know, you can get that kind of like, oh, this is easy, you know, because you just show the trades, and you don't have to add that extra element of waiting, and at the time with no hindsight bias. It's just very, very different story. You know what I'm saying? So I can't hide behind anything, and so yeah. So I'm pretty honest when it comes to two-legged pullback. Like, I'll tell you about the advantages. You know, definitely one of the disadvantages is that you have to wait for the setup, and sometimes the market is not so friendly. Doesn't give you any good setups for the two-leggy, at least. People do get angry sometimes because I don't take any trades, and especially if it's like a strong uptrend or downtrend. But for me, it's just I have to stick to the rules. If I want to be consistent here, I gotta stick to the rules, and be okay with maybe never entering a strong uptrend or strong downtrend. I would take this trap here. If we trap, we're still in a strong downtrend, but this trap comes after a break of trend, another break of trend to new low. Trap fails here. It may be interesting going long at this point. The right signal bar, I think I would go long here, but it does look like a downtrend. We're just continuing to go down. The reason why is because this is the second attempt to, that signal bar is good enough for me. Do not copy my trades. Do not copy my trades. I don't like any of that follow through here. Ooh. I don't like how this is overlapping now. I know it might seem good because it might be like a double bottom. But to me, this is actually signs that this is looking like a trading range almost. It does trigger here. The reversal. Right, this reversal fails. This is another attempt of a reversal here. People may be buying at the 20 EMA here. Higher lows here. So it's starting to look like a trading range. Like I mentioned, this might have looked good and be like, hey, this is like a micro double bottom. But to me, it starts to look like kind of like more like a trading range where instead of bursting out, you know, it starts to do this. And now you're kind of sweating if you're in this trade, if you went long here. A little better. Looks better now. Looks good now. You're still safe actually, right? The 20 EMA is guarding you. 20 EMA is rising as well, right? That's what you want to see if you're in a long trade. But to me, it started to look like a trading range. You know, when the bars overlap like that, it felt like more like a trading range more than anything. That trap does, it does fail because you get this lower high, but man, this looks confusing. That you're very scared, so you just got stopped out. For anyone who went long here, just got stopped out. So you're welcome. You're welcome, guys. So I didn't make money, but I didn't lose any money. Which is actually, when it comes to trading, sometimes way more important than making money. If you can prevent yourself from losing money, that is like a very vital, like, you know, element to becoming profitable. You got to learn to not lose money. That's actually probably way more important than gaining money. Anyone can gain money, but it's very hard for people to not lose money. Let's just say that. Right? Anyone can get lucky. Anyone can make, you know, a trade and make some money. But for those who can prevent losing money, you know, it's like offense and defense. It's like if you play football, you know, you can't win with just offense and have no type of defense and preventing to be scored against. You got to have both. Sometimes, you know, a good defense is better than a good offense. Ralph Gruns, I just noticed this is my 1-year anniversary as a member. It's been an incredible value for me. Thank you. Let's go, baby. And it does show that you have been here for 1 year because you just got the rainbow two-legged pullback. The rainbow two-legged pullback. You guys are heroes. Just a big downtrend. Another failed reversal, right? Failed reversal attempt. Man, I feel like I gotta go short here. I feel like I have to go short here. I have to go short here, pandas. Do not copy my trades. It looks kind of choppy too. These dojis here. I feel like I gotta go short though. Definitely not with this bar. It's starting to look like a trading range at the moment, actually. Very choppy. A lot of overlapping bars. Sitting on my paws. And sorry, pandas. I'm going to have to wait for this chop. I got to wait for the limit order market to stop before even considering entering. And right now, even starting from here, it starts to look overlapping. And then overlapping. And then overlapping. It's just so many trend lines. Like, where is the true trend here?
10,000 tick trap.
There is a trap here. I should have maybe entered there. That's tricky. That's tricky. I was really looking for a entry here, but this starts to look like a limit order market, and I just was difficult. It was difficult. I just drew this trend line, and also it's like I wasn't sure if it was gonna actually hold. It does hold, end up holding. Wow. Sorry, Pandas. Yeah, I think this entry here is probably the best entry so far, and I hesitated on that one, mainly because I had I was sitting on my hands, I was sitting on my paws. I wasn't really thinking entering trade just because I felt like we're starting to enter limit order market, and I didn't feel safe at all enter any trade. But that trade probably here is one that I missed, but still. I would say limit order market, and it's kind of scary to enter any trade in a limit order market. When I say limit order market, I mean, look at this huge push up. You know, it's just kind of scary. It's kind of hard to know when these big drops will happen. But when I say limit order market, is you can tell that the market is using mainly limit orders to enter their trades because of the price action. Right? When you have a lot of overlapping bars and you see reversals almost at every bar, that can only happen with limit orders. You can't that price action or that behavior cannot happen unless you have limit orders. And so yeah, when I sense that we have a dominance of limit orders, to me it's hard for me to want to enter trade with my stop order. You know, I enter with stop orders, and typically those happen with trends. This is getting choppy and looks ugly. Yeah, so people might be mad that I missed that trade, but yeah, at the time it looked like a limit order market, hard for me to have entered. But I would say that is a decent setup to take. I actually was looking to go short down here in this area, as you saw. Ends up having a big push up and then finally push down. This kind of wild market today. I think probably market's waiting for tomorrow. There is I believe, let me see if there's news this week. By the way, Pandas, I haven't mentioned it yet, but there is an 80% coupon for Apex exclusive to Bye Money. And so Apex has been amazing. They've been awesome, and they have given us an exclusive 80% off coupon. And so take advantage of it. You know, the coupon ended, you know, basically this gives you another opportunity to enter in with 80% off, and so hopefully you guys take advantage of it. You know, I think it's a gift. It's really a gift, you know. I mean, when I say gift, I really mean gift. You know, if you can open a 50K, if you can get funded $50,000 for a small cost of $35, and that's pretty amazing, you know. This week, tomorrow, with an FOMC statement. Oh, tomorrow's FOMC. That means tomorrow's Whiskey Wednesday. Yeah, I do Whiskey Wednesday on Wednesdays usually because the FOMC is on Wednesday, and the FOMC is at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So that means that, you know, the opening hour is sometimes very slow, like almost unbearable. I mean, not for me, because that's impossible for me to be unbearable, but but in terms of how we feel, it could be so slow. So that's why we have the whiskey challenge, kind of like another element of trading where we can feel like more of a community, you know, that we're not just here just to trade, but we're also here to be part of a community. And so yeah, look at how choppy this is. Look at how terrible this looks. It's just terrible, in my opinion. Starting to look like a wedge bottom here. You get 3 pushes down, and now we're kind of breaking above the wedge here, and it's starting to look kind of like a double bottom, maybe triple bottom, some sort of W shape type pattern here, which means it could push up or just be in a trading range. For me, the trading range indicator on the 2000 tick chart, the fact that it's still here gives me an idea that, you know, this move down is actually not as strong as you think, and we can actually push back up to the top of this trading range. If we come back to the top of this trading range, then that's amazing. The trading range indicator is working as planned. Wedge bottom, kind of like a descending triangle type pattern here. You can see with this purple line and this pink line starting to make some sort of type of triangle like this. It's kind of breaking out to the top. Now that we have a couple bars formed, for you, what kind of day do you think it's going to be now? I put this up before the day started, but now, after a couple of bars, it's also good to recognize what market cycle we're in after with, you know, with a little more information. So here the 5 minute chart, 3 pushes down, and we're starting to reverse here. 99% chance we'll come back to the 20 EMA some point in the day. We'll touch the 20 EMA. 10,000 tick chart here. Back to the 20 EMA here on the 10,000 tick. No two leggies, but finally the counts reset here. So we finally break a previous candle's pivot high, which looks like it's starting to look like it's going to a trading range here on the 10,000 tick chart. Now that you look at the chart and see on the 5 minute we have, you know, this kind of move here, what do you feel like it might happen now that you see this? Michael Chin is here. He loves traps, if you guys remember. He loves traps in the market. He loves trapping people to buying his course. Man, just make sure you guys scalp that like button. I haven't made any trades yet. I haven't seen any good setups. The one setup I was considering it was this, but
$10,000 tick trap.
wow. Wow, interesting. No setups here. Confusing. What to do, what to do. Hard to go short here. Outside bar reversal. Ends up being a scalp with the outside bar reversal. It's not a setup I like particularly. Kind of like a failed breakout. you know, kind of looked like it was bullish, right? Kind of looked like it was kind of trying to go back up here, but like I mentioned, it looks like it could also just be a trading range, and it looks like it's gonna go up. But then if you're trying to go long in this area, you know, you're basically going long at the top of the trading range, so you have to keep that in mind. Man, what am I looking for? I don't even know. I mean, if we're just like in this kind of big box here, it's hard to go short at the bottom of the box. I'm not gonna lie, it's hard to go short. We do have a strong bear move here, but still, if you look to the left and you see these pivots here, any of these can act as a support, you know, and any of these can act like a failed breakdown if you do break below, and it can come back up. So it's a little difficult because it's not clear at the moment. So if I'm looking for a two-leggy, I don't have a. It's hard to find a good two-leggy. Am I gonna look for second entry short here? Don't want to find a second entry short and try to go short at the bottom of a potential trading range. Difficult to say. Strong bear bars with follow through here. To me, this looks a little more accurate to what's happening here. Technically, you should be looking to come back into this trading range. Technically. Decent push down. With a big move like this, I may look for a second entry short at this point, thinking that this was just a consolidation on a strong bear trend consolidation. 10,000 tick chart. Basically, it was just pushed back up to 20 MA, pushing back down. Potential wedge here. 5 minute, also potential wedge. This gives some hesitation to go long or to go short with those wedges. I do think we're clearly in a downtrend, but this consolidation is making me worried because it's gonna be a failed breakdown. We're beneath these pivot lows, and so for me, it could maybe be a good time to go short. Basically, break out, pull back, retest, and to go short. All in all, I'm just scared of any trade I'm going to take next. I'm going to be very scared and very nervous. I almost want to take a failed second entry short back into the trading range. That's like my setup that I want to look for, especially with these strong bull bars. Like if we come back into this blue box, to me, I feel like it's free game to come back up to the top of the blue box. I think today is going to be a bear trend day today. That's what I think. First entry. I was going to put a pull up, but there's no setup. Annoying day so far, say the least. Higher low. Higher low here. Coming back into trading range, possibly. Failed second entry short. Maybe a setup I might look for here. A failed second entry short. This is a second entry short here, actually. Let me add here. Would you take the second entry short here off the 20 MA? Or would you look for reversal? A, B, C. Second entry short. Beneath the trading range. Beneath the 20 MA. What would you do here? Would you take the second entry short, thinking the downtrend will continue? Or would you skip it? Or would you enter the trap if it does trigger, wait for the push back up? Okay, in my opinion, the short trade is no longer. That's why you gotta wait. You have to wait for the candles to finish. The short trade is not viable now. We're clearly above the 20 EMA. Actually, that's a pretty good signal bar to go short. But we're still above the 20 EMA, which makes it weird. We're back into the trading range as well. I'm gonna take this trap. Do not copy my trades. I'm taking the trap back up. Risk is not very large either. It's about 2 points of risk. A little more, 1/4 point more. I may fail this. It looks like it's gonna hit me here. Micro double bottom. Missed my stop by 1 tick. Still in this trade. Okay, that hits me. I took that trap coming back to the trading range. I don't mind losing that. Any trade I enter, I pretty much don't mind ever losing. Tricky trade. Tricky trade. It's all good. It might go the way now. So it traps me here and then it finally goes the way I thought it was gonna go. Unfortunately. It's just a tricky day. And when days are like this, like you're better off just not trading. I don't mind the setup I took. I kinda like it actually to come back into the trading range and yeah, it is what it is. I lost that trade, but I don't think it was a bad setup. Let's just say that. And I was pretty patient waiting for it. But it is what it is. You know, at the end, you lose the trade, and then you see it go your way, and get frustrated. And if anything, it's just a solid evidence that today is just gonna be one of those days. Just tricky. Lance Goss has never triggered on my chart. I'm not sure. Maybe huh. At the end, you lose 125 for a good setup. I don't mind that. Unfortunately, I think it does give me some slippage. It triggers it down here, so I had 1 tick of slippage. Is annoying. I was planning, I could have just lost, you know, I lost $12 more because of that. It's annoying that slippage happened, but You know, that's what happens in the market. With live markets, that's just what happens. Someone said it didn't trigger for them, so I'm gonna just reload my historical. I'm pretty sure that did trigger, but yeah, it's triggered. Lower high or higher low setup here. Not interested in this. You know, the fact that this was so tricky, I just I don't know if I want to even trade anymore today, to be honest. Just looking at this, like, man, I just don't know. Maybe later in the day, the price action might be a little more clear, but just as it stands, very tricky. And I think the higher time frames also reveal that, right? Also reveal that it's just getting choppy here, and the 5 minute as well. Getting choppy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a huge wedge. Five hits on that wedge. Very wedgy. It's a huge wedgie. So here now it's getting confusing. It's just there's no entries here. It's just making these crazy spikes right now. I don't know. I don't know. This is difficult for me. I try to come back into trading range here, and that hits me and ends up doing it later, but you know, it is what it is. Mediani says, are you still profitable? I am actually still profitable. Because I lost one trade here doesn't mean I'm not profitable. Untradeable, going in and out of the 20 EMA. You know, the nice thing about sometimes is recognizing how how untradeable this is at the moment. 10,000 tick chart. Look at this 10,000 tick chart. All these wicks down here. You know, it does look like still a downtrend though, because we're clearly underneath the 20 EMA, having a hard time to break above it. But also all these failed breakdowns as well. 5 minute chart. You know, like I mentioned, it's a huge wedgie, and this could be making an attempt to come back to the 20 EMA. I don't know. Pandas, hope you guys are doing well. Let me see how you guys are doing. I'm a bit red today. One trade I took. And I'm hoping you guys are doing better. This is your time to flex. Saying I'm trading better than Panda today. You know, if you guys are doing well, I hope you guys are doing well. I just want to know like what setups you guys are taking. Coming back up to the blue box, top of the blue box. No entries for us. No way for us to be able to predict any of these movements here, in my opinion. I couldn't do it. Lance Gone says, just poured myself a glass of Glenlivet Glenny single malt. Oh, man, that sounds good. I might partake in that later tonight. That does sound good. Absolute chop. You know, this trade here, I think was trying to show that I was trying to enter in, like knowing that this was chop, come back up to top of the trading range. I don't think it's a bad trade. I like the setup as well. You know, you do have this basically double bottom, break a trend, and it actually does make a new low here by 1 tick. And you know, this is the place where you look for the reverse. This is why I skipped, you know, wanted to skip a second entry here, but you know, it hits you like that sometimes. The nice thing about it was the risk was very small. It was just, you know, 2 points, a little more, little teeny more, teeny bit more than 2 points. Come back to the top of the trading range. Now here's a question. You think it's going to break out, or you want to fade this breakout to come back into the trading range? That is the question. That is a $1 million question. What do you want to do here? You know, you got to kind of change your thinking cap at the moment, and realize like you are in a trading range. Like you have to think like a trading range trader right now, and you have to be quick to change that back to a trend trader if it does turn to a trend. And there's always that in between where both are happening at the same time. So this is why trading ranges are confusing, because sometimes it's a trading range at a certain point in time. The reason why it's difficult is because it looks the same, right? When you have a strong move down like this, doesn't it look like that's going to break down? Or doesn't that look like, okay, this trading range is over, we're going to continue down, and ends up just being a bare leg in the trading range. And so it looks very similar. So that's why it's very difficult to know when it's actually going to be a breakdown versus a failed breakdown. So this is why trading ranges are difficult. And anyone who says like they know, like, you know, for certainty like what it is, then, you know, I think they're lying to you. One thing you can tell is if we fail to reach the top, you know, and the bottom, you have that bullish and bearish pressure. I think Thomas Wade will call it bullish bearish imbalance, and he will look for an imbalance to say, okay, this might be evidence that this will be a successful breakdown. By the way, if you guys don't follow Thomas Wade, you gotta follow him. Great guy. Awesome, actually. I mean, putting on so much free content, and it's good free content. It's not like Mac from Price Action Trading System. That content is terrible, but he actually, I think, is putting out some good content. Gotta give him a follow. It's kind of funny because his channel was, you know, when he first started, I actually was a pretty big proponent of him. I said, you know, give him a follow, man. He's doing good stuff. And he ends up surpassing me in subs, and so now it's like, oh man, hey, Thomas Wade, can you give me a shout out now? Yeah, you know, I'm happy for him. It's amazing. Almost reached the top, come back to the bottom. Difficult to trade this.
10,000 tick trap.
Okay, so it sounds like I'm hating on Mac. I respect him, but I've said this multiple times on my channel. Every single chart review he does is with way too much hindsight bias. I've mentioned it many times. I think he could up the quality of his videos and channel if he does a bar by bar analysis, and I think people would would and I've suggested this many times, on this stream. Bar by bar analysis. Go bar by bar. Don't look at the whole chart and just tell, hey, this is a good trade, and skip over, right, the difficult trades and say, oh, you would have just known if you saw this, And I think in a sense it kind of made me angry. I was like, that is very, it's a disservice to those who are like really trying to take this serious. And when you just pass over a very tricky trade and to preserve and protect your trading system, I think that is very dishonest and very, a huge bias on his end to do that. And so for me, I feel like, it's better if he would have done a bar by bar analysis type videos where he'll go bar by bar saying, this is not a good setup, this is starting to form a good setup, or this is getting tricky, and it kind of gives you the mindset of the trade at the time. So I've mentioned it many times, and it's not a knock on Mac. I really respect him, so it's nothing like that. But for me, I think if anything, I want Mac to succeed, and I think the way he could do it is by giving the audience what they want, and it is answering those hard questions that can only come from, I believe, through a bar by bar analysis. And what I mean by bar by bar, I just mean like, instead of having the whole chart already in front of you like this and say, hey, that's a good setup, this is a good setup, this is a good setup. Instead of that, you actually go one bar at a time and say, okay, like here I would be looking for a two-legged pullback. Oh, I didn't get it. Okay, we'll skip. Here I'd be looking for, oh, this is too choppy now. And just going bar by bar, bar by bar. And if he did something like that, I think that would be amazing. And yeah. Right, this is to me like almost an impossible market to trade. And yeah, so yeah, unfortunately the setup didn't work. I like the setup actually still. I still like it. I don't think it's a bad setup actually. I think it's a good setup that failed, but it is what it is. In a sense, I'm happy I'm only down 125. A lot of you guys are flat, which is, technically better than being negative. So, congrats. A lot of you guys also have lost some money today, so I'm in that boat. And right now, limit order market, there's no setups for us, just staring at this. And sometimes, that's kind of nice. That's why you have the community, because you can stare. When you want to stare at paint drying, it's nice to have a buddy with you. It's nice to have a community with you to all stare at paint dry. It's a little better, a little more tolerable than just doing it by yourself. Let's just say that. Pushing down. Am I looking for a downtrend? Am I looking for a breakout here? Doesn't seem convincing at the moment. Hard to say though. The downtrend could have started now. Don't know. On the 5-minute, we actually have a two-leggy here. Hidden second entry short. A, B, C all in one bar, the outside bar reversal. And so coming back down, big push down. It's actually a second entry short here. Good signal bar. Right. Also, you can consider this a OI pattern. OI pattern means breakout mode. And breakout mode means that people have stop orders like below here and above here. And once, you know, they'll enter any side of this. And once they triggers, they'll have their stop above here, and you know, they've already made their money. They already made at least a 1-to-1, so they're coming out with their core positions already on the 1-to-1 right there. This is why you see that reversal with a 1-to-1 on that trade, 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. And this is why you see a bounce right there on the 5-minute. I can tell you that is 100% true because of the price action showing that. All right, pandas. Are we looking for a second entry short here? Are we looking for a second short thinking our downtrend is going to continue? Amin says, is a 2-point stop loss at all times enough? No, not nearly enough. If you want to do that, then what you can do is come in with a retracement. Typically, your stop loss is created by the signal bar. And so if you do that, then if you do want only a 2-point stop loss, then you can come with retracement. But by doing so, you will miss a lot of trades because a lot of times they do not retrace that far back, especially if it's a strong trend. Am I looking for a 2-leggy here to go short, pandas? Or are we coming back up into the trading range? Too many bull bars in a row for me to go short at this moment. Trading range is still active on the 2000 tick chart, as you can see here. 10,000 tick chart. The wedge is continuing. If you just bought like limit orders off this wedge, you'd be making some money today. 5-minute as well, wedge continuing. If you just bought a limit order on these wedges. I'm not saying that's a good strategy, but if you have done that, you'll be making money. The only problem is, are you going to do that every single time? Good luck with that. Too many bull bars to look for a second entry short in my opinion, but the second entry short may form here. Yep, coming back into our trading range for me makes it difficult to go short here. Multiple bull bars in a row. And basically just continuing this trading range price action in my opinion. Even though we are making these lower lows, still it's very difficult to I don't know. I just don't know. Jeez, like how? Like trading range indicator, thank you. Man, yeah, it's just no entries. Like what are you supposed to do here? I don't know how to trade this. I'm a one-trick panda, and that trick is not working right now. Wild. This is wild. What a move up. Huh. Might as well draw this channel that I can see here. Huh. Frustrating day. I do not like ending red on stream, but it is what it is, and it's not gonna make me enter trades that I'm not comfortable with. I really do feel like this market is gonna be very difficult, and if you're trading, just be careful, seriously, because this looks very difficult to me, and it could be like this for the rest of the day. Remember, tomorrow we do have a FOMC announcement, so it could be choppy until then. They might be just waiting for the FOMC. I think they're trying to see if we're gonna have a 0.75 basis or 0.5 basis. Increase, basically point increase in interest rates, and so interest rates are going to, in my opinion, dictate this market. And if they in my opinion, there's this old adage that, basically just don't fight the Fed. Don't ever fight the Fed. The economy could look terrible, but if the Fed is doing, if they're stimulating the market by either cutting interest rates or, doing quantitative easing, if they're doing any of these things, then in my opinion, you just go with that in the overall general market, direction. But if they are openly saying we are raising interest rates and we're going to do what we can to fight inflation, then I think, in order to not fight the Fed, that means that you do not, that most likely the market will go down. In my opinion, I don't know, but it's just don't fight the Fed. But who knows? The Fed may do a 0.5 basis point increase instead of 0.75, and that might stimulate the market. I don't know. Who knows? We do have a two-leggy here, though, after a strong bull bar, but right at the top of a trading range, clearly above the 20 MA, making a higher low setup. Not enough room to top of these pivots. You do have some credence to go long here, right, off this two-leggy. I'm not going to go long here. Even though I have a strong feeling this might go up higher, I'm not going to go long here. Too much resistance right above it. We also are bouncing off our trend line. So, with that being said, they're probably, at the edge of their seats just waiting for that. Who knows? But we could have a choppy day, today and also early tomorrow. And it is what it is. Junior Coltrane. Hey, sorry for disappointing you. It's just maybe you gotta follow, maybe you should buy Michael Chin's trading course. He probably could help you out over there. So alright, pandas, I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow, 9 o'clock for the pre-market show, 9:15 for the mainstream. Make sure you guys take advantage of BBM 80, 80% off until tomorrow. Tomorrow 11:59 p.m. and take advantage of that. So I'll see you guys. As always, happy trading. God bless. Bye.